Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Daytona Beach, Florida. We've got some preseason Thunder testing going on currently. We've got the Chip Ganassi teammates drafting right there. Behind them, we got the Penske Dodge of Ryan Newman, and then we got the Bill Davis Dodge of John Andretti in the 22. C4 Dodges all lined up here. They got the brand new noses. The new Charger body will be on these Dodges here, or will be on the cars for this season. It'll be really interesting. And then there is the new Penske entry, Casey Atwood. There's rookie Casey Kane. But you're going to see a lot of one, maybe two. Here's four cars. Jeff Byrne, Tony Stewart, Jeff Gordon. Terry Labonte is back in the 5, likely for a one-off year. Sitting third right now on the board. He, look for this 5, to have some speed this season. And he's back in the 5, and yeah, Terry Labonte took that 1 year to DEI, and then Vickers is now in the 25, and now he's back in the 5, likely for 1 year, 1 season, before NASCAR limits everybody to a max of 4 cars. And this is kind of surprising. There's Kurt Shevardine trying to get some extra practice for him and his team so they can try and make the 500. Usually, you don't really see. I wouldn't recommend this, because if you wreck something right here, you're going to leave a lot of extra time out there on the table. But Biffle leads the way in this group. There's another rookie, Coy Gibbs. There's Kevin Harvick. There's Steve Park. He will not be in this car full-time. He'll be in this car part-time, driving that one car. But yeah, the reason he is in this one car is because that's the only other DEI car outside of Dale Earnhardt Jr., because the 00 is here, driven by Michael Waltrip. So he's trying to get extra time in that car to prepare it for his brother, Darrell Waltrip, who will be running that car in the 500. That'll be likely Darrell's last Cup start. And here's last year's champion, Brian Vickers. There's rookie Carl Edwards. There's Mark Martin, don't forget about him. There's Mike Skinner in the 01 this season. We got rookie Travis Kvapil, drafting with Jimmy Johnson. RCR and Hendrick. We got a group of 6 right here. We got Elliott Sadler. We got Dave Blaney in the Tommy Baldwin entry. We got Kyle Petty in the 43. That 43, Richard Petty Motorsports has dropped down to only 1 car for this season. We'll have to see if that rebuilding, does anything. And there's Jeff Green in the 0. There's Matt Kenseth, Dale Jarrett. And there's Robbie Gordon in the 2. Dale Jr. in the 8. Ricky Rudd in the 21. Some really nice looking paint schemes right here. All 3 different manufacturers. There's Kenny Wallace with the 32. There's Michael Waltrip in the 00. We were just talking about him. This will likely be Darrell Waltrip's last start. Will be the 2005 Daytona 500, but they're going to have to get that car into the show. Excuse me. There's Bill Elliott. There's Ken Schrader, Bobby Labonte. Ward Burton's in the 31 this season. Sterling Marlin. There's Kurt Busch. He was the first one out on track here today, trying to run as many laps as he can. And then we're back to the top where we started with John Andretti and all these Dodgers. So we will have to see. Excuse me again. Yeah, with this new Dodge Charger nose and body, it's, the back doesn't really look that different, but the front is drastically different. And like last season, they just kind of tweaked on that nose, and they were able to get it better. But with this brand new nose, they're going to have to it's going to be a learning curve. It's going to be, you know, it's going to be all about learning. It's going to be all about adjusting, figuring out how this thing operates and reacts. And I think at the beginning of the season, they might struggle. They may not be the best. And I know Dodge, they want to have the best body. Everybody does. But especially Dodge, they put a lot of time and a lot of effort into their program. But I think by mid-season, especially at the end of the season, I think that this Charger could be up front winning races consistently. So it goes Jay McMurray, 11th on the board. John Andretti goes 10th on the board. So we got 3 wide up here. Advanced a little bit. We got Jack Sprague, Tony Stewart's in the middle. A lot of these guys are, do you run the backup Daytona 500 car? Is this your primary Daytona 500 car? Kirk Shepardine basically purchased the Belclair 72 car. How many cars does this group have? How many cars can they afford to tear up? Right, they want to come down here, they want to run well. We'll have to see. There's Jack Sprague in the 10. It's Terry Labonte's going to lead the way. But, yeah, just sit back and enjoy some preseason thunder. So let's go over some changes here. So obviously the 1 goes 3 wide up the middle. Yeah, so the 1 car. So we got the 1 car driven by Steve Park. He will be in this car part-time, splitting time with Paul Menard and I believe it's Martin Truex Jr. For DEI, they will be doing the full schedule, but with 3 different drivers. They'll be out here practicing this car. We got Robbie Gordon in the 2, jumping over from RCR to Penske. We'll have to see how this does. He's out there drafting with the other Dodges and looking up the inside of his current teammate, or his brand new teammate. We got Jerry Nadeau in the 4. We'll have to see how he does. I know that team's going to be looking to just try and qualify and learn what they can for each race. Then we got Terry Labonte in the 5. We talked about him coming back to Hendrick Motorsports in the 5. Took a year, went to the 1 actually. I do believe he did win at least 1 race last season. But, yeah, he's back in the 5. We'll have to see what he can do. Hendrick's going to be in a tight spot. I do believe Terry can get it done. But, I mean, we'll have to see. Hendrick and Terry have split ways before. Can't imagine the second time is going to be any easier than the next time, whether it's Terry retires or what he plans to do. There's Mark Martin. He's driving the 6 this season. Same thing, nothing really usual changing. Next season, you can expect a lot of change. I'm not sure if anything will change exactly with the 6 car. We'll have to wait and see. I will have to pull down the drop down because there's Dave Blaney. Was owned by Ultra Motorsports, that 7 car. They sold, moved on. Tommy Baldwin came in here. Brand new team, starting from the ground up. He's going to be driving that 7 car. Not driving it, but owning the 7 car with Dave Blaney up behind the wheel. Dale Jr. in the 8. He's going to be putting DEI on his shoulders, trying to carry that team with him and his Budweiser Chevrolet. Bill Elliott, right there in the 9. Kind of same deal right there. Evernham didn't really change nothing. And talked about Michael Waltrip. He'll be driving the 15 full time. Nothing changing there. But as you can see, he is prioritizing his own team that he is owning. We talked about Darrell Waltrip will be in this 00 card. It'll be hopefully Darrell's last Cup start. Hopefully the 500 will go well for him. But they've got a lot of work to do. Then we got Mike Skinner in the 01. We'll have to see what he can do in the U.S. Army Chevrolet. Then his teammate, Jack Sprague, will be driving for Valvoline. It's a really nice looking paint scheme. I like that. Then we got rookie Coy Gibbs. We'll have FedEx on the hood, I believe, the whole season. Driving for his father, Joe Gibbs. We'll have to see what Coy can do. He's under a 2-year contract. Won a bunch of races in Busch. We'll have to see what he can do this season. Then we got your defending Daytona 500 champion, Ryan Newman in the 12. We'll have to see what he can do with that brand new Charger. Expect him to be really, really quick. Then we got Subway on the nose of Greg Biffle. Pretty much full time. We got Matt Kenseth. Ran very, very well all last season, except for the last couple of races. We'll have to see what he can do, what he is looking forward to. You can expect this 17 car to be really, really quick. Probably a championship favorite. Bobby Labonte's back in the 18 Interstate Battery Chevrolet for Joe Gibbs. He won a couple races in 03, went winless last year. We'll have to see if he can get a win here racing for Gibbs. There's Jeremy Mayfield looking to the inside of Tony Stewart. Again, nothing really changing with Evernham. There's Tony Stewart. Nothing really changing with the 20, except he's got a new teammate in the 11 this season. They got Ricky Rudd. Again, nothing really changing here. So racing for the Wood Brothers Motorcraft there in Ford. We got John Andretti making the jump over to Bill Davis. All right, they've got the brand new Charger body. We'll have to see what that 22 Caterpillar car can do. We got Jeff Gordon. I still got the DuPont Chevrolet. We'll have to see if he can rebound. I mean, he's kind of been just, 2003 dominated, kind of threw the championship away to his teammate. Last season kind of was in contention and, just kind of got outdueled by his teammate Brian Vickers. We'll have to keep an eye on him and see what he can do and, see what he can do with this 30 race season. Speaking of Brian Vickers, 2004 champion, here he is, running the 25. He's got a 2 or 3 year contract with Hendrick to drive this 25 car. We'll have to see what he can do. I feel like I'm saying that a lot, but yeah, can he go back to back, or how consistent, or was that just a one-off kind of thing? I don't know. See Elliott Sadler making a move down there, blocking Johnson. Then we talked about Kurt Schemmerdine trying to just put laps on that car. Kevin Harvick, nothing really changing here with the 29 for RCR. Look out, Jack Sprague. You don't want to do that in preseason Thunder. This is merely a practice session. Kevin Harvick said, I had enough of that. I am pulling into the pit. Anyways, Kevin Harvick has a couple new teammates this season, one of them being Ward Burton in the 31, and then the 32 for PPI, it'll be Kenny Wallace in the 32, 33 Travis Kvapil. He was in the middle of silly season drama. We'll have to keep an eye. Kenny Wallace drove this car last season, pretty successful. Um, Hopefully Travis can keep the same expectations as there as Kenny Wallace. Sitting 6th right now, not too bad. There's Elliott Sadler just to his outside in the M&Ms. Yates car, nothing really changing here. Him and his Yates, like Evernham, kind of staying similar, staying the same. Sterling Marlin, drafting with Kurt Busch. Nothing changing with Chip Ganassi either. You got Coors on the car. Again, the only thing changing is that nose with the new Charger. There's your Southern 500 winner, Casey Mears. Seems to be improving throughout his career. We'll have to keep an eye on him. There's Jamie McMurray. Him and Mears came into the sport together. I feel like Mears has had a better career than McMurray so far, but we'll have to see if McMurray can close or pass Mears, or if Mears can stay in front of McMurray. We talked about it briefly earlier, but Kyle Petty will be in this car, likely full-time. It is not exactly announced. This was a 2-car operation last season. They have dropped the 45. They've rebranded Richard Petty Motorsports. And, yeah, this team struggled. John Andretti drove this car last year. The 43 itself did okay, but Kyle Petty, the 45, struggled badly. So we will have to see if they branch out. I mean, Rusty Wallace, he's not fully retired. He's going to be part-time probably in the 91 Evernham car. There's rumors that he may hop in this car at some point. But, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of uncertainty. And if you look at the head of the front of this pack, we got the 2003 NASCAR champion, sitting 5th currently, leading this pack. Jimmy Johnson. Nothing really changing with the 48. Again, nothing really changing here. Ken Schrader, Red Baron, Dodge, 49 for BAM. One thing is changing though. Carl Edwards in the 54 National Guard. This car, National Guard's going to be on this car for the whole season, all 30 races if he makes the All-Star race. The 54 car is going to be sponsored by National Guard for Carl Edwards at Roush. This is a Roush entry. This is the 6th Roush car, if you can believe it. He's going to be fighting for one of those precious spots there at Roush come 2006. And he will also be competing for Rookie of the Year. Sitting 2nd right now. There's a lot of speed, that 54 car. There's Casey Atwood getting a second chance here at Cup with Penske. Remember, he won with Penske at Michigan last season. Sitting 37th so far. We got another rookie, Casey Kane, in the 84 full-time CarQuest Chevrolet, sitting 10th. This Rookie of the Year battle is going to be really, really interesting. With Casey, Travis Kvapil, Carl Edwards, Coy Gibbs. We got Dale Jarrett there. Again, nothing really changing with Robert Yates. You got UPS there still. Buckshot Jones, brand new team, Front Row Motorsports coming in. They got Taco Bell on the hood. They're going to be attempting every single race this season. It's in 14th so far, not bad. Yeah, Taco Bell will be on that 92 full-time. Buckshot Jones did okay. I believe he was in the 10 last season. We'll have to keep an eye out, see what that brand new team Front Row Motorsports can do. Then we got Kurt Busch, first one out on track today. Sitting 32nd currently. The Sharpie Ford. Nothing really changing there with 97. And Jeff Burton, finally, the number 99, sitting 8th. They're going to have Pennzoil and Roundup on the car full time. They've figured out their sponsor issues. Um, Again, one of those Roush drivers that are going to be on the bubble. That's going to be really interesting to come 2006 with all this silly season talk. He's going to be on the bubble and fighting for his life. These cars continue to do laps. We got a total of 8 hours of preseason thunder between here and Daytona. And in 2 weeks, they'll be down at Charlotte at Lowe's Motor Speedway, again, doing another 4 hours of testing. And then they'll take another week off. And then we'll be down here for the Budweiser Shootout. Um, yeah, as these guys continue to run laps here, continue to draft around. We'll take a look here off turn 2. A lot of single file, not too many packs 2 and 3 wide like we saw earlier. But yeah, last week was the New Year Derby took place just down the road at Five Flag Speedway. I can't talk right now for some reason. Five Flag Speedway, the New Year Derby. Yeah, Billy Venturini for the Wood brothers ended up winning that race. There's a couple drivers that did participate, like Mark Martin. Carl Edwards was also in that race. There's a few other drivers, I just can't think of them off the top of my head. See Casey Atwood here blending. Look out! Casey Kane had to lift and jump back behind his teammate to try and prevent a crash. That was closer than it needed to be. Yeah, Kenny Wallace, Ken Schrader, Carl Edwards, Mark Martin. Yeah, were the Cup drivers ever in the race. We also had Jimmy Spencer, Kyle Busch, he's in the Busch Series. They were in that race. But all came down to Billy Venturini ended up winning that race for the late model series. But we got a lot of pit stops here. Working out that pit crew, changing left and right sides. But yeah, we got about another half hour left of this session. We'll finish this session up, and then we'll do a half hour of mock qualifying. We'll get an idea of what these cars will do in mock qualifying. We'll do one more practice session, and then we'll go into we'll take like an hour break. Then we'll do nighttime practice, and then yeah, that'll be that. So we will see you for mock qualifying. Alrighty, qualifying is done, the break is in, and now we are back to the second main practice of the afternoon. So this is the first practice, the first hour or so. Mark Martin led, Carl Edwards, Matt Kenseth. Top 3 were Roush. Then we got Brian Vickers and Kurt Busch. So the top 4 out of the top 5 are all Roush. Then we got Hendrick 4th, Hendrick 6th. And then we had RCR, Yates, the 5th Roush guy, and Joe Gibbs. Trying to think, where'd Greg Biffle practice at? 38. This will be the mock times for qualifying. You got your Kirk Chemberdine, Jack Sprague, Buckshot Jones, Nadeau, Mike Skinner, Ken Schrader, Blaney, Andretti. Michael Waltrip, though, actually out-qualified Dale Earnhardt Jr. That's kind of surprising. Matt Kenseth back in here. Interesting. Carl Edwards right there. So we'll get up towards the top 10 here. There's Jeff Gordon. Jeff Green qualified well. There's Casey Atwood. Greg Biffle up to 6th. Terry Labonte. Brian Vickers up in there. Jeff Burton all ran zeros. But yeah, so we'll start getting into happy hour here now. The last time these cars will be on track at Daytona before the lights turn on. There's Biffle there. These guys are just now getting up to speed. Hopefully these guys aren't too aggressive. As you see, Casey Atwood's looking at the inside of the 27. 27 knows that they're going to be 3 wides. Got to give the space. But yeah, if anything interesting happens, we'll let you know. If not, we will see you when the lights are on. Nothing interesting here, but we can just watch the cars fly by here. In the different packs, in the different groups. A couple RCR cars are up at the top. Just like that. Roush goes up to the top. His group shot up. With this man leading it. We'll do a quick flyby here. Pick out your favorite driver, your favorite paint scheme. Maybe your favorite number, maybe your favorite color. See where everybody's running here. A lot of speed in that little group right there. But yeah, we will see you when the lights are on. Alright, the lights are on, the cars are back on track. We're about 5 minutes into this session, waiting for some more times. Not everybody's put in a time yet. Times are a little slower, the cars are a little slower. NASCAR's trying out, different packages and stuff like that. We got Dale Jarrett leading, or not leading, he's 3rd. Whoa, we've got 3 wide right here. It's like Kurt Busch, Terry Labonte's all over the back end of Elliott Sadler. Got to make these car teams and car chiefs a little nervous. There goes Kurt Busch to the inside. Looks like Kyle Petty's gonna follow. Maybe not. Maybe he's gonna try and go to the middle. But yeah, welcome to 2005, everybody. Super excited to get this underway here. Been working really, really hard to try and put all this together. But yeah, took a few weeks off towards the end of the season. Just tried to, the end of 2004, just try to get those videos out there. But yeah, we are here ready for 2005. Trying to keep it somewhat close to real life, but also do my own little thing. And if certain windows and doors open up and opportunities for drivers and teams, that they're going to take it. Similar to what would happen maybe in real life is, look at this pack right here where we got 8 cars right here all under a blanket. Steve Park, Buckshot Jones down there on the inside. We got Brian Vickers leading the way. Dale Jarrett looking for a way around maybe. Yeah, Ricky Rudd sits up top of this practice session. We'll do one more mock run, and then we'll finish out the night practicing, and then we will be in Lowe's in 2 weeks. And then I'm thinking, ooh, look out, that 01. I'm gonna have to get used to all these car and driver changes. Mike Skinner is in the 01 this season. Yeah, this will be the last time these boys will be down in Daytona before the shootout. And then it'll get time to get serious for the qualifying for the Daytona 500. Yeah, I'm thinking probably just do one video for the Daytona 500 pre-Thunder, and then I might do Lowe's. I don't really know how exactly I'm going to do it, but... we'll watch the flyby here. Matt Kenseth right there doing a single car run. Look at this pack racing right here. These drivers are getting antsy. Oh, right there, Carl Edwards has an issue of some kind. He's saying he's got a tire going down. That was very big right there. That could have ended in a really bad crash. He said he had a tire going soft. It's not completely down. They got the inner liner on the tires, and he was able to identify it. He was able to bring it down pit road without significant damage. But, yeah. Well, we'll give you one scroll here, but we will see you at Lowe's for the remainder of the test for preseason Thunder. Alrighty, we are in Lowe's, North Carolina. I decided to actually change it. So there's some clouds rolling in. Looks like we're only going to get one session in. We might not even get the mock qualifying run in. There's some clouds rolling in. There's some rain rolling in. They aren't going to be able to get it rescheduled. So, yeah, this will be the preseason Thunder. Just one video, I suppose. Similar paint schemes. Kind of the same lineup. The only difference is Kirk Shemerdine and Steve Park. They kept their cars down in Daytona. There's Michael Waltrip, sitting 38th right now. We'll have to see if he improves on this lap. Does not. Drafting off on Craig Biffle there. You see Casey Atwood sitting 5th. Coy Gibbs sitting 2nd. Kind of a nice surprise. Rookie there. Ward Burton's going around the outside of his teammate. There goes Kevin Harvick to the pits. But we talked about Kyle Petty and this team rebuilding. They're sitting 1st right now. This is kind of a surprise, not only with the new Dodge Charger, but Kyle Petty. And we'll have to see what this 43 car can do. But, yeah. Whoa! We just came back. We're about halfway through this session as Brian Vickers and Kyle Petty rubbed together a little bit. There's Jerry Nadeau sitting at 33rd. Jeff Green sitting 16th. Bobby Labonte's 32nd. Tony Stewart's 5th. Ryan Newman 26th. Right, this is preseason testing, right? Nothing to stare at this about and go, oh wow. You know, see where your favorite driver's running in the top right and what kind of lap times they have been running. Robbie Gordon, Mike Skinner. There's Kenny Walsh, Coy Gibbs sitting top 10. There's Sadler, Sprague 38th, 24th to Junior, 8th there for Jeff Burton. As these clouds continue to roll in, it's going to continue to get darker. We'll see if we can get this mock qualifying run in, but I doubt we'll get the second practice in. Alrighty, we were able to, excuse me, we were able to squeeze in qualifying, the mock qualifying run, but it is raining in turn 3 currently, so we are unable to get the second practice session in, but this is the mock qualifying run. Casey Atwood down there at the 31st, kind of surprising. Kyle Petty, 34th. Case Kane down there, rookie Case Kane. Matt Kenseth, yikes. But again, no points on the line, just practice, just trying to figure stuff out. But yeah, that's that. So appreciate you guys tuning in to Preseason Thunder, ready to get the Budweiser shootout ready for you guys. And yeah, we'll be Daytona 500 qualifying here in no time, and the duels, and then we'll start paying points here in no time.